from Malaysia. After that, we've got Okuhara against Boranaprasut of Thailand. So Carolina Marin, the first ever left-handed player to win the Women's Singles World Championships, the #1 seed, up against Tjeng of Malaysia. So this, of course, is the top section of the draws. The #1 seed is always the top of the draw. And you can see that Tjeng had to play yesterday. Now, if you were with us earlier, you will have seen that Pei Po of Chinese Taipei coming through against #16 seed. Disappointment for the home fans with Maria Phoebe Kusumastuti going out in 3 games. And I guess that was perhaps a case of what Steen Peterson was alluding to during one of our earlier matches about the pressure of playing at home in the early rounds. Oh yes, goodness me, you almost went the wrong direction, Carolina. We don't want you going into the stands, we want you centre stage. Well, there was terrible worry before the World Championships about whether Carolina Marin would actually be able to defend her world title. Broke the 5th metatarsal in her foot. Now, of course, football fans in England will know all about metatarsals because both David Beckham and Wayne Rooney, building up to either European Championships or World Cup in football, both had the same injury. So I'm hugely surprised that she's been able to come here to defend her title. Normally, well, certainly with the footballers, maybe the footballers aren't as tough as us badminton players. It normally takes about 5 or 6 weeks before they're fully recovered. So absolutely delighted that the defending champion is here in Jakarta to defend her title. Well, what a year she's had so far. Already 2015. 5 finals from 7 tournaments played. Winning the All England, her first ever Super Series title. My goodness, what a tournament to win as your first ever Super Series, a premier, and in many people's opinion, myself included, the biggest Super Series event of them all. In badminton, the All England is very akin to Wimbledon in tennis. So there she is, the 22-year-old, lives in Madrid, the left-handed Carolina Marin, playing in her 4th World Championship. She was a quarter-finalist in Guangzhou, having been in the last 16 in Wembley. And of course, a year ago in Copenhagen, she won the title as a 21-year-old, winning the title as the #9 seed. And she's up against Tjeng today. The 24-year-old from Penang, the player who left the Badminton Association of Malaysia, resigned because she wanted to play women's doubles, and that was denied. But of course, for sad circumstances with Sonia Chia rupturing an Achilles tendon, she was invited back and joined the women's singles squad, and she's gone from strength to strength. And she's now the leading women's singles player. Had a very good win yesterday against the Italian Cicconini. 2 straight games. Didn't even reach double figures in that second game. Such was the talent of the young Malaysian player. And of course, the Malaysian team, all under the guidance now of my former friend and colleague. Still a friend. What am I saying? Former friend. Still a friend, but former colleague Morten Frost. They played twice previously, and of course was in the World Championships last year at this very same stage. But the last time they met was in the quarterfinal of the Hong Kong Super Series. Gerard Assonor of Canada is our umpire for this one. And Noguchi of Japan is our service judge. So, Steen, you, I know, are very good friends with Carolina Marin's coach, Fernando Rivas, and you'll probably have much more inside scoop than I've got, because I've only read the newspapers about the injury problems. Anything else you can add?
Yeah, they had to sort of revamp the whole training program in order to get her ready here, and she's been practicing in a pool
Yep, swimming pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get one of those vests that makes you float, and you can
life vest or
exactly.
buoyant.
So you can do some
Ladies and gentlemen,
training there, and also
right,
to change the playing style a little bit. And that's so interesting to see, because in my opinion, to do well in this sport, you need to change the playing style anyway. So I wouldn't say it's a blessing in disguise, but I would rather say that all is not lost. But it's going to be interesting to see what kind of
service over.
What kind of power she comes with, because that has really been trademark of her since winning last year in Copenhagen. That this is power badminton. It's not just power; it's also delicate shots and hard smashes and tight spinning net shots. But power is what I think of when I should describe Carolina Marin.
And pace of movement.
Yes.
In that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that pace of movement is sort of manufactured, if you could say that. But she's not a natural good mover, so it's practice.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see if she continues to improve on that area there, because then eventually it will spell trouble for the rest of the field in women's single.
Yeah. Well, you know, even if she's not 100% fit, and I think the other thing we've got to take into account that even though she is a really feisty character and a very positive person, you know, any sort of serious injury must affect a player psychologically. You know, but I'm so delighted to see her come and try and defend, because if you don't try, you'll never know, and you'll always ask yourself, maybe I could have somehow battled through, maybe I could have defended the title.
And it's always a fine line between risking another or a different injury, aggravating the injury that you already got, or picking up another because you're compensating a little bit in your movement.
Yeah. And this is a tricky opening match for Carolina Marin. Of course, she had that bye in the first round.
Very tricky.
Yeah.
I think this arena here in Jakarta, that's landed on the line. I think this arena here in Jakarta, it tends to favorize the light-footed players in the singles categories, and the players who got a certain skill set, because as we saw Kento Momota win the men's singles 2 months ago here, I wouldn't necessarily describe him as light-footed, but he's got the right skill set to play here. He's got really, really good shots around net height, tape height of the net. But being fast is really, really important as well.
Service over.
And in that term, it's probably nice for Carolina that she's not meeting one of these very, very fast Japanese players.
Carolina.
But Tjeng definitely got some really, really good technical skills, and that could also spell trouble for her.
Yeah, and just to emphasize that, of course, the first time that these two players I was mentioning was in the quarterfinal of the Hong Kong Super Series at the end of last year. And to get to that quarterfinal, Tjeng had beaten former world champion Wang Yihan. Now, if you can beat a former world champion like Wang Yihan, you are a dangerous opponent.
Yeah, exactly. And especially since that's a good shot.
Oh, that's gone wrong.
Oh, what a fantastic forehand shot from Carolina Marin there. But also a good return from Tjeng. This one, oh, I loved it. Just placed a little bit too much to the right. Otherwise, it would have been a direct winner to that left hip of Tjeng, because she was covering her forehand side. And as you said, she's been playing here yesterday, already one match ahead of Marin.
shot from Tjeng.
I think she that Marin looks how do you put it, skinnier than we've seen her.
5-all.
She does look very trim, very fit.
Really, really fit.
Yeah.
And the question that always comes after noticing that is that has she lost any power? And I remember when Camilla Martin won the World Championship in ladies singles in '99. There was one of the Danish very famous sailors who asked me. She looks a little bit thin and so on, and I knew exactly how much she weighed back then. So I told him how much she weighed, and he said, "Wow, then she's strong."
Yeah.
Play.
Because she weighed a little bit more than he expected.
Yeah, yeah. Good rally. Oh, the backhand kill. Interesting early stages of that rally, Steen.
7.
I'm sure you
6.
noticed that Carolina Marin, after playing, I think it was 2 net shots, absolutely stood her ground on the net. She knew that if her opponent tried to lift, the likelihood it was going to go long. So really pressurizing the net area.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about challenging your opponent to make shots with higher risk.
Now that's clever. That was really sort of a half smash, wasn't it?
It was. It was just a smash designed to sort of keep Marin out of trouble. Now, it was a winner, but it was not intended to be a winner. And that's actually one of the keys here as well. You might not need to go for the winner too early in the rally. You can just be certain that the opponents won't be able to score against you.
Ball.
It was a little bit of a miss-hit.
7-9. Play.
Yeah, that's going wide. Yeah, good judgment from Tjeng.
8-9.
There's quite a few, you know, we're only not even halfway through this opening game. Both players have been using the body smash, the body attack.
Yeah, I think actually this was meant as an attack towards the backhand side, but it was just a miss-hit in some way from Tjeng.
11-8.
So to the mid-game interval with a 3-point advantage, the defending champion, Carolina Marin.
If she feels okay and doesn't have any pain or anything, and the game is actually going well, she's 3 points ahead, then this injury that she suffered, it might actually serve as a sort of, what should I say, taking away the pressure from her, because, well, I was a little bit injured, so it's different
Court
going
one,
into the
20
World Championships
seconds.
in
Court one,
absolutely
20
top
seconds.
form. You perform well in
Coach, thank
practice,
you.
and you're defending
Thank you,
champion,
Coach.
so there's a lot of pressure on you. But now you just can play a little bit more freely again because she was lucky to be here.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
11-8. Play.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget that she won the World Championship last year when, again, she was carrying an injury, because I think we were commentating on one of the matches that she seemed to twist her ankle a little bit, and it still went on to win the gold medal.
Yeah, and we saw one of the players, I think that was yesterday, one of the players had the same kind of injury where her foot slipped in the right corner, getting the heel up in the Achilles. She actually was bugged by that injury for quite some time after the Worlds.
Yeah. But it's an amazing rise, isn't it? I mean, it's the stuff of fairy tales, really. You think back to 2013, and was anybody talking about Carolina Marin? Here we are. 18 months later, she's European champion, she's world champion, she's all England champion. She's won 3 Super Series events already this year. I mean, become world #1. It's amazing.
Totally amazing achievement. And I've had a lot of people in Denmark approaching me and saying, hey, I lost the bet because we knew she was good at an European level, but there was a lot of badminton experts saying that, well, she's never going to make it on an international level because she's from Spain. They don't have any tradition or anything. But she's overcome that.
Oh, it's called out.
I would challenge that.
I would challenge that. I'm looking absolutely down that line.
13.
I'd put my house on it. I'd put my 3 winning cups of tea on that.
Yeah.
And that was in. No, we'll never see it from that angle. There's a sidelining question. Crikey.
$11-13.
So let's hope that she is the inspiration for many other European players, because it hasn't come free, these achievements that she and her coaching staff has made. They've been working really, really hard, perhaps harder than anyone else.
Yeah.
12-13.
There's no doubt about that. And also a lot of new ways of coaching, new ideas coming into it. And
very imaginative coaches, and Fernando Rivas as the national coach there has done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
We saw that this year, that Spain became the team European champions for under-19.
That's right.
Two very strong players heading the squad, but still a surprise.
13-all.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how will this pan out when Spain gets more top players. They have 3 players in this World Championship, but how will it affect the time available for Carolina Marin when she's accompanied by 5 or 6 other players or combinations?
Excellent point, because I'm immediately thinking, now that you've raised that, of Gopi Chand in India, who brought Saina Nehwal up to world top 5, and then he
Olympic bronze.
And Olympic bronze. He then expanded his squad, so many of his squad, both men and women, started doing well. And Saina Nehwal felt that he didn't have enough time for her, so she's gone to a coach who can dedicate all of his time to just looking after her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Oh, this is fascinating too.
But,
into the lead.
Yeah.
Tjeng.
She's come out really well after the interval.
6 straight points. 5 of them since that line call. But we were convinced the net shots. And we both said she should challenge Carolina Marin. And it went through my heads.
15,
that could be costly.
13.
This is a good situation for Tjeng.
Yeah.
Halt.
You can see it. You can see that she's alert.
16, 13.
Yeah, and you can see that Carolina Marin is flustered. 13-8, she was leading. 8 straight points for Tjeng. That's delightful. Yeah, finally breaks the run of points.
Service over.
13-9 it was
16.
when we had that net shot.
Yes. 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 Quick. Thank you.
Yeah, doesn't try and make
Ready
it too
to play.
fancy, just guiding the
play.
shuttle nicely into the open space.
Quick.
Yeah, weathered the storm.
15, 16. Play.
Always cool goods. There's a challenge here from Carolina Marin.
Call.
Well,
In.
I thought the line judge may have got that one right. What was your feeling?
Yeah, I could see it was close, but it's really hard to judge these situations. Where does the court touch down?
Yeah, because we're so high up. You're right, it is difficult to judge exactly where it's...
But if I only could challenge one, I would definitely choose the drop shot.
Yeah, the next shot, yeah. Well, we await Hawkeye. Well, this is a crucial stage for this to happen. Hendroan, amazing coach in the background. Here we go. Yeah, it was him. Good call, line judge.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service over. 17, 15. Play.
Well, this is a huge point coming up right now. Oh,
Service over.
Is that why you like that cross-court smash earlier on? Because it was so
16,
unusual. Does she
17.
usually go straight down the line?
She usually goes straight down the
Yeah.
line, yeah. Yeah, and you need to mix it up in order to keep this line open.
Yeah.
So you have to have body smashes, you have to have cross-court smash. But then again, it's a cross-court smash from her forehand side to her own backhand side. So there's an awful lot of road to cover up to that short backhand corner where the return would be expected.
That's great.
17
on that
all.
player. And the score's back level.
Thank you. Play. Call.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent shot.
Service over.
She's a fantastic player as well.
17.
The woman in the picture before Tjeng. I've often had concerns about her fitness level because we've seen her play fantastic matches one day and then the next day barely be able to walk. And if the Malaysian team can sort of fix that, then they have a very, very strong women's single.
Oh, good net shot. Oh, he's come way back in.
Yeah.
19, 17.
TGE, just 2 points away from the opening game. Yeah, I'm thinking back to Glasgow, Commonwealth Games last year. I know you weren't there, Steve, but she was playing, TGE played women's singles throughout the team competition. And she really thrived on being the top women's singles player. She came fourth, she reached the semi-final of the individual, lost the bronze medal playoff match, beating Sindhu. But you're right, the fitness levels have improved because day after day she was pushed as playing the first singles, and she more than survived, I can tell you. Oh,
Service over.
that looked nervous.
18, 19.
Very exciting moment right now because I have no idea what will happen in the second game. I think Carolina is on the normally good side here, so that Tjeng will come over and play up against the wind a little bit easier perhaps, but I'm not really sure in this match.
He's on.
Yeah.
Play. Play.
Oh, nice
Played.
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah, good rally. A real pressure point.
19 all.
She had the opportunity. Tjeng, that one, that wasn't as good as you could have expected. And immediately, Marin turns it around.
Play.
Oh, it's good again.
Oh, that's well
great.
played.
Service
I know
over.
someone is clapping his hands
20.
right now.
Game
Would that be a
point,
certain Mr. Morton
19.
Frost?
It would be, yes.
Yeah,
So
Game.
important to keep the net.
yeah. And a game point opportunity
Carolina.
for TGE. Well, players allowed
Quick
to
white.
go off
Quick
and
white.
towel down. I'm
Quick white.
surprised at a game point opportunity, especially as the court is not being
Thank you.
mopped.
Thank you. Ready to
I couldn't really see any of the players asking for permission to
Come
do
here.
it.
TG. I'm here. You cannot drink when you ask me for a white. If you do that again, I will give you a card. Don't do that.
Well, being told that when she goes to towel down, she can't drink. Arsenal of Canada are umpire for this one. I'll ask your opinion about that in a minute. It's game point opportunity. And she's taken it.
Game.
Would you believe it? The defending champion is a game down against Tjeng of Malaysia. 21-19, that opening game. Well, are we about to see huge upset? Look at knee support. The bandage has come undone on her right knee, Tjeng. She played that deep forehand corner. Look at that. And yet kept her concentration. And look at the delight as she takes the opening game. My goodness me. 21-19 in 24 minutes. Extraordinary. Steen, is there a rule about being able to drink when you're toweling down?
There might be. I haven't heard it, but and I can understand the reasoning behind it, because you imagine that it would take longer to take a drink than just to towel down. But I'm not sure that's transparent to the players.
Yeah.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Coaches, thank you. Coach, thank you. Ready to play.
So the players back on court, and Carolina Marin just saying to the umpire that she needs the court mopped. Her ends. Perspiration dripping down from her opponent before the change of ends. Well, I'm just thinking about the last women's singles player to retain a world title.
Thank you.
No, but I think I've read somewhere that no one has ever done it.
Yeah, no, there's 3 players who've done it.
There is?
The last one was
Carolina. Carolina.
Of course, now married to Lin Yan.
Carolina.
She won in 2005 and 2006. Ye Xiaoying won in 1995 and 1997. Han Ai-ping was the first one to retain a women's singles, 1985 and 87. I'm just trying to think, and I'm racking my brains. Has there ever been a defending champion that's lost their first match in the women's singles? Well, we can't think about that. This match is far from over. We need to just focus in and see what Carolina Marin, what she's made of. Can she come back from a game deficit? Well, we're about to find out.
Good control there in the first 2 rallies by Marin. And the thing is now that it's easy for Tjeng to sort of relax a little bit and say, oh, now I can easier play the whole court. Yeah, you can, but don't lift, because you'll have a much harder time defending the attack. The attack will come lightning fast now from that far end of the court.
For love. Service
Yeah.
over.
Going for angle once again.
1-4.
This time finding the net. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's going out. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful use
Service over.
of the full court there from the
5-1.
defending champion. Making her opponent come forward to the net, pushing her deep in the forehand corner, then playing her backhand net, full diagonal, having to scamper across the court. Yeah, Tjeng trying to do the same thing in reply, but
Quick,
just missing
quick.
the mark.
Thank you. One second. Play. Six, 1.
Oh, this is a very, very good start to the second game from Carolina Marin. Just wide. Well, I posed the question, when was the
7-1.
last time a reigning world champion lost her first match in the women's singles discipline? And our
White.
answer is the 2013 world champion. No?
Quick white, Carolina. Quick.
Oh,
The other
no,
player's
it was
already
the
there.
third round. Sorry, Steen. Yep. I was jumping ahead of myself
Thank
there.
you.
I'm not sure it's ever happened, but we will check and check, because that wasn't
Play.
even in my quiz. That was a little extra.
That was another cup of tea.
You got one back on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's me looking at that. I saw that somebody had had a walkover, but it was the wrong player. I thought it was maybe
8-1.
No, it wasn't. It was the third round that Ratchnok lost as defending champion. Well, they say that the
9-1.
test of a champion is how they fight back from adversity. You've come into the World Championships struggling with injury. You've lost the opening game,
Play.
and your response, a 9-1 advantage. And that speaks volumes to me about the character of Carolina Marin.
And often you have to survive a scare
10-1.
to do well in a big, big tournament.
Service over. 2-10.
And this is trouble for Malaysia, because Hendra, he really needs to come up with a plan to help Tjeng, because she's doing far worse on this
3-10.
side than Carolina Marin did.
Do you not think part of it is just the reaction to having won that opening game, and she's possibly just even surprised herself? And
Yeah, you might be right, Jill.
Yeah.
That's probably part of the explanation.
oh, that's nice defense. Oh, beautiful.
Excellent.
What a good rally.
4-10. Play. Service over.
Fell back the Malaysian side, and therefore Carolina Marin, a little squeal to urge herself on, having reached the mid-game interval with a 7-point advantage. Well, known throughout the circuits, have been really quite vocal in her celebrations, and I think those celebrations have been rather tame today. But there was that little shout of self-encouragement.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So what do you think,
Coach,
Steen? What do you think that this young lady needs to be doing?
Yeah, but she needs to be taking control of the rallies.
Thank you.
Again, she can't leave too much initiative for Carolina Marin, because, as I said,
ready to play.
Her attack is really, really powerful from this end of the court. And I think
11,
just to
4,
reply on the vocal
play.
thing, that might show that she's a little uncertain herself on what is actually my capability here in this tournament. But if she takes this second game, then I'm sure we'll hear some of it.
Yeah.
Service over. 5-11.
There's a question mark in my mind as to whether Tjeng has the inner belief that she can actually win this. I think she needs to if it's to go to a third game, she needs to keep the score reasonably close.
Yeah,
12,
yeah. Well, she needs to sort of find a solution for playing another half game on this near end of the court, and that might be possible, even though you can lose big here, but it takes a lot of tactical awareness. She wasn't ready when she came out to the second game. So if you're an attacking player playing with the wind, that's not so big a deal as if you're a more patient player who likes to play a lot of clears and lobs and so on. But whenever Carolina has the chance, she's just firing away.
Yeah.
And she's good at it. We know that. So that's not a big deal for her.
2 body smashes there.
Yeah. So in order to prevent Carolina from sort of putting her stamp on this game here, Tjeng needs to play as if she was standing on the opposite side of the court. She still needs to attack. She still needs to take initiative.
Out. Service over. 6-14.
And use these flat pushes towards the backcourt corners, mixed up with drop shots.
Fault.
Well, Carolina Marin took 2 shots there that I'm convinced were going wide.
Yeah.
And that's a sign to me of the self-doubt.
And this, the same with the long scoring draft in the first game, where Tjeng sort of founded her
8-14.
first set victory, first game victory.
Well, every point that the Malaysian wins, I think that Carolina Marin is going to feel more and more knotting in her stomach.
Yeah.
The nerves will start to jangle.
9-14.
And this is 4 points just out of nowhere, and I can see that Fernando is offering some advice now.
Service over.
Well, if that had gone over, that would have
15-9.
been a fabulous shot.
Yeah, gutsy try, but in the long run, most of these tries should be unsuccessful because it's played too low, below the tape.
Oh,
She's really getting her nose punched there. I mean, if she leaves the initiative,
9.
she's going to lose on this side of the court.
Carolina, we're changing the shuttle also.
Yeah, the little sign of frustration there.
Tjeng,
There's the vocal celebrations that we've been talking about.
ready to play, Carolina. (16-9). Play. Service over.
Yeah, that's sheer nerves, in my opinion.
10-16. Play.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
That's exactly what you've been saying.
11-16.
But it requires that you work exactly as hard as on the other side.
Come here, please.
Oh, the umpire's going to have a word with Carolina Marin.
Yes. Please work on it.
Now, please work on it. What was that? Taking less time in between rallies, or the vocal?
I don't know, but
No.
I don't think the umpires should sort of ask any players to work on anything.
No.
That should be done before. The umpire should just
Say that's
sort of
not allowed.
enforce the rules.
16.
It's like having a service that is too high. You don't get the players to work on the service position.
Yeah. I do know that it is sort of an Americanism in terminology, just as we have British sayings. And perhaps we're taking a literal translation that wasn't really intended. But I take your point, and I agree.
This game is not over.
No, it's certainly
This
isn't.
game is not over. Because Carolina Marin is more inconsistent.
And she's more and more nervous as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going wide.
Yeah.
It is over. 17-13.
Well, what's interesting to me, Steen, is that we've both just noticed that in the last couple of rallies, where it's only been Hendrawan, former world champion, working with the Malaysian team now, but former Indonesian player, on the coach's bench. Now, Morten Frost, the director of performance, has joined him.
He's probably seen something from the spectator's seat that he wants to pass on. Yeah.
18-13.
And that's quite within the rules, but you can only have 2 coaches during a match.
You can have only 2 persons sitting on the chairs.
Yeah.
You can actually change the coaches if you like that.
Yes, sorry, you are absolutely right. I didn't express that properly. So 3 points away from sending this to a third and deciding game. Defending champion, make that 2 points away.
I think the former point was very important.
13.
That easy point to go from 17 to 18, creating a bit of a gap again of 5 points.
Service over.
Very close to the line.
14-19.
I have to say, Steve, I think that Carolina Marin throughout the match has been taking shuttles that I think would go wide. That right-hand sideline as we look down on the court.
And that might be the difference between having played one match in the hall and not playing a match in the hall. That was the vocal you
20
sort
game
of
point,
were looking for.
14.
Well, I guess not looking for, but mentioning.
And expecting more often. So, game point opportunities, 6 of them to be precise, to send this to a deciding game. Oh, that's a nice net shot. Good rally. That's going wide, yep.
Wide and long.
21-14, it is one game all in this second round women's singles encounter. My goodness me, the defending champion will be mightily relieved about that. Started this second game so well, raced to that 10-1 lead. And then eventually closing it out 21-14. 46 minutes into the match, and we are going to be treated to a third and deciding game.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Thank you, Coach. Coach, thank you.
So the coaches are asked to take leave, and the players will return to court.
Ready to play?
21-19, Tjeng took the opening game. Carolina Marin, having raced to that 10-1 lead in the second, eventually closed it out 21-14. So here we are. It all comes down to this third and deciding
Change shuttle.
game.
Final game.
The
Level.
24-year-old from Penang up against the defending champion, Carolina Marin of Spain. Now, logic tells me, Steen, that Carolina Marin will run away with this third game, but the reason we love sport is logical things don't always happen. We can expect the unexpected. What's your take?
Yeah, I think Tjeng needs to reach the interval ahead of Carolina Marin. I don't think she's catching up on her when they change ends. And she seemed a little slower in the second game than in the first game, where she played really, really well and played fast.
Salt. 3, love. Racket. Play. Four, love.
Well, I know it's only 4 points, but in all honesty, this is sort of what I was expecting.
It was 4 very easy points.
Yeah. 5 relatively easy points.
But I don't know if it's on purpose. I hope it's on purpose for Spanish sake that Carolina Marin has twice now played the shuttle a little bit further into the court instead of going for the net, and that makes it much more difficult for Tjeng to go for the net, and she's made 2 mistakes right away.
Yeah.
If she plays a net shot and doesn't go for the net herself, Tjeng, then she will be exposed to these flat pushes to the back court corners. So very, very good idea from Marin to put it a little bit further into the court, the shots to the net. Oh.
Oh, goodness me, string's gone. That's why she made that smash into the net.
5.
Which she was jolly lucky with that net cord. It thundered off the top of the tape, went over.
Yeah, and had it been a regular shot, I think Tjeng would have killed it.
Carolina.
But her timing got off a little bit.
Ready? Ready to play.
She needs to get going now, Tjeng.
Yeah, that was an important point from her perspective.
Yeah.
Well, Carolina Marin, well, you can see she's wringing out the perspiration from her dress there on the side of the court. So it's not surprising there's drips of perspiration on the court surface, and given the fact that she's already carrying an injury, she'll be very, very aware of any wet patches and perhaps slipping on, trying to change direction. We didn't see any of this verbal fist punch in the first game, did we?
2.
Probably uncertain of how good was she after the injury.
Oh, that was going wide too. And that.
Yeah. There's one thing that's missing still in the game of Marin. That's the fast attack. The smashes where angled is the aim instead of power. Makes it really hard to judge for the opponents.
Wide.
It's these periods here where it's actually non-game. It's just 1-2 shots in each rally, and then it's a mistake. That's probably where we see the lack of practice.
Oh, gorgeous.
Service over.
I often talk, Steen, about players coming from above the shuttle. when coming at the net instead of coming from underneath them. And that was a wonderful example of what I often talk about, and I don't think I explain really well enough. But you've got so many options, haven't you?
And
here we go. Look at that.
Like the former world champion from China, Zhao Jianhua, he was the first player who started that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can push, you can block, and you can also make a cross-court shot, cross-net shot.
Play.
And the key is to be really, really high on the net.
Service over. 5-7. Carolina. Play.
Oh. Now that's the one you're looking for, is it?
Yeah.
8-5.
The shot is executed so quick that you have virtually no time to judge where it's aimed as an opponent. Players use the position of the body, the movement of the arm to judge what kind of shots are coming. But there's more mistakes than we've seen Carolina in the recent 3-4 months, and of course that's natural because she hasn't been able to practice on court as much as she would have liked. And Tjeng has caught up. That was long. Great save.
Unbelievable. Oh, good clear.
Good clear, yeah. And another one. Oh, that's it. Yeah. That's a beautiful shot. But very well played also by Tjeng. Unfortunately for her, the last clear was way too short.
Yes.
Here it comes.
Yes. White.
Only gets to the middle of the court. She's doing a good job at the net, Tjeng, because what we discussed in the beginning of this game, that Carolina was sort of pushing her net shots a little bit further into the court. She hasn't been able to do that. So it probably wasn't on purpose in the beginning of the game, and Tjeng has been very, very sharp at the backhand side of the net.
Thank you. Play.
Yeah.
But now she's showing some of it that lacked in the second game. She's down on her knees, retrieving the defense and so on. And had she done that from the beginning of the second game, it might have been a whole different story.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, when she rushed to that 5-love lead in this deciding game, I sort of thought, well, it's all one-way traffic, but all credit to Tjeng because she's hung in there. But the more that Carolina Marin plays those attacking shots that you've been explaining, you know, the more you sort of feel, well, she'll eventually get through.
Yeah.
She'll come through this difficult opening match. Opening match for her, that is. Yeah, that's nice.
11.
So a 5-point advantage as they change ends here in this deciding game. And given what you said earlier, Steen, that if Tjeng is to win this, she really needs to be in the lead at the change of ends. Well, it's an upward battle for the Malaysian. But Carolina Marin, so far in this match, has not shown the sort of form, understandably, that took her to the world title last year.
But we must remember she played Tjeng also in the first match last year in Copenhagen, and it is the first match here in Iron.
And it was 3 games in
3 games, yes, it was. So always a bit of uncertainty and nerves in a World Championship.
Yeah.
And
Court 1, 20
even
seconds.
though
Court 1, 20
Marin
seconds.
has been in the quarterfinal here in Indonesia Open, she only reached
Thank you, coaches.
she lost in the first round 2 months ago after coming direct from a win in Australia. So perhaps the playing conditions
11,
she's
6.
not quite used to them yet, and that will also be too much to ask because no one is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Service
just
over.
what he hoped for.
7-11.
Easy point.
A gift. No, that one's in for.
Very good
Service
control.
over.
Was there a little deception on?
12-7.
I'll be happy if I see a little deception on that service return. I don't get it in replay though. Well played.
What a net shot.
Yeah.
Service
Yeah,
over.
and look at the body language of Tjeng.
8.
And that was
12.
where she, in the second game, just lifted. She's been doing so well there, and that's played a little bit into the court from Marin, but she's still playing extremely sharp. Oy.
Service over.
So, in many ways,
13-8.
perhaps it could be a little bit easier for Marin if she played a bit more to the forehand corner of the net. We've seen that Tjeng is very, very sharp in the backhand. What about the forehand side? Oh.
Good rally. Oh. Brilliant smash. Yeah.
14.
There's the Spanish
8.
coaches, Fernando Rivas on the left as we looked at them. He never gives much away
White.
when he's watching. He always looks calm.
Tjeng.
Probably as a counterpart to
Thank you.
all the vocal stuff from Carolina.
Yeah.
I think it's important. I mean, Carolina is still 21, 22.
Thank you,
21, I think.
Carolina.
No, turned
Thank you.
22 in.
22, but she's still quite unexperienced
Carolina.
in these big tournaments.
Yeah.
Actually only played at this level here for about a year or so.
That's the extraordinary thing, isn't it?
And you don't want to look out and see your coach more or less exaggerated. You want a calm coach who's got your back.
Yeah.
15-8.
And also very important, not evaluating every single rally, but evaluating a period in the game. We see a lot of coaches evaluating almost every rally. I don't believe in that in the long run.
Service over. 9-15.
This was about the time in the second game where
Carolina.
Tjeng started to get back in the match. Or at least the second game. She, of course, had the first game already.
Yes, you're right. It was 14-9. Here it's 15-9.
10-15.
Exactly the same sort of scoreline.
She wasn't committing totally to that one,
No.
Marin.
Play.
definitely take my time in between the rallies if I were the Malaysian.
Yeah. 11-15.
Yeah, nice to see Tjeng being asked to change the shuttle, immediately changing it. So just 4 points in it now.
These easy points that she can't afford.
16-11.
She could have afforded a couple of them had she been even at the interval.
Carolina.
Oh, Carolina's being called by the umpire again.
Okay, fist. Okay.
Now, that was definitely something about the fist. You're not allowed to look at your opponent while making a fist. Seen as a sign of intimidation and aggression.
Oh,
excellent shot, excellent shot.
Yeah, very good.
17-11.
As we're looking at that again, I noticed that Carolina Marin was once again wringing out the perspiration from her dress.
Thank you.
And the match has been on for 66 minutes right now, and how will that influence the possibilities in the rest of the tournament? Probably could have hoped for an easier first match when you're coming off an injury. Oh, this great shot, great retrieval.
Service over. 12-17.
Well,
smiling.
Wry smile.
Yeah, and it would have been a winner. So that's one of the occasions where you say, okay, that's a pity.
Thank you.
But the idea was brilliant.
Play.
So I just get the feeling it's now or never as far as the Malaysian is concerned. Has to start closing down this deficit. And that's not going to help her cause.
Service over. 18-12.
Well, I take your point about being on court. Well, it's an hour and 7 minutes now, but it depends what sort of person you are. Are you a glass half empty or a glass half full? Because Carolina Marin can turn around herself and say, I've had a really good workout, I've come through it, I know I can survive a long match. Also, she can say to herself, well, I beat Tjeng in 3 games on the way to the world title. I've done it again. I'm going to win the world title again.
And it's a very, very useful match. We've seen some other players who've had matches that is actually not usable. They're not even practice.
Yeah.
20
match points, opportunities for the defending champion.
Play. Service over.
Yeah, you're not allowed 2 games.
13-20.
Called having to be mocked virtually every other rally.
Thank you.
And we have this, that the players are not allowed to flick sweat off their forehead. How about squeezing your shorts or your... I mean...
Fault.
fault is called.
Yeah.
Took the shuttle before it crossed over the net. So the match goes to the defending champion. She did it a hard way, having come back from a game deficit. Just under an hour and 10 minutes.
Match won by Carolina Marin.
Well,
19,
she weathered
21,
the storm,
21,
and all
14,
credit to
21,
Tjeng.
13.
She has proved that she is a force to be reckoned with in world terms. She's already beaten a former world champion in her career, and my goodness, she came close. That's a great call by the umpire, wasn't it? That was clearly over the net and a clear fault. So Carolina Marin safely through to the third rounds. Her first match as defending champion. 19-21, 21-14, 21-30 in an hour and 10 minutes. And Carolina Marin has survived a scare, and the defending champion still on track.
So big thanks to Jill Clark and Jesper Larsen, sorry. Thanks to Jill Clark and to Steen Pedersen, Jesper Larsen alongside myself, Richard Kaufman. Now, for the next few matches, you can see a terrific game that Carolina Marin, the defending champion, coming through against Jing. But next, what should be a very good women's singles match also. Porntip Buran-Prasek up against Nozomi Okuhara of Japan, the number 9 seed here, up against a former world number 10 player. So here we go then. Nozomi Okuhara up against Porntip Buran-Prasek, the number 9 seed, the 20-year-old Japanese.